everyone, it's Amanda, and today I'm going to be reviewing 3 books that I have read in October. I find that my wrap-ups are usually really long because I'm trying to do reviews of each book, so instead I'm going to split it up into 3 at a time. When I finish 3, I will do a review and try to keep up with it that way, and then at the end I'll just kind of do an overview that won't take as long. So for today, I'm going to be reviewing Eyes Wide Open by Ted Dekker, Isolation by Thrasher, and House by Ted Dekker and Frank Peretti. The 3 of these books are actually all Christian fiction, so just be aware if you're not interested, you might not want to watch this video, but I think you still should because these books, although they're Christian fiction, I think a lot of people would enjoy them, especially House. It's not in your face. The other 2 are a little bit more symbolic and more Christian-y, but I enjoyed all 3. The first one I'm going to talk about is Isolation by Thrasher. This book is about a missionary family who just came back from Papua New Guinea. They're on furlough in the United States. When they get back to the States, they get an opportunity to stay at this big lodge in North Carolina that was built by an eccentric millionaire. He passed away, his brother inherited it, and he decided to open it up for missionaries to stay at while they're on furlough. James, with his wife Stephanie and his 2 children, decide to move to North Carolina to this lodge where another older couple already is staying. Stephanie has been having some issues with sleepwalking and some crazy visions, and so she is not really thrilled to move there, but the idea really appeals to James, so they end up going in this isolated area, this huge lodge, and when it snows, it's very difficult to get to, and when they get there, strange things start to happen. Stephanie starts to see things. The son starts to discover secret passageways, and they start to realize that some very strange and kind of evil things had gone on in this lodge. This book deals with demon possession, which I was pretty uncomfortable with. There was a time where I almost put it down just because it bothered me, but I pushed through and it was very interesting. It's definitely a unique read. This author is very good at his writing. It gripped me from the beginning to the end and I enjoyed it a lot. So I would definitely recommend it if you are into this kind of stuff. I do have to put it out there that at the end, the Christianity part is very strong, but I didn't mind it, but some people may. The next book is Eyes Wide Open by Ted Dekker. This book is actually a set of 4 books that were released, I believe, via ebook originally, 4 short stories that all go together to make this big story, and I loved this story. The first one is called Identity, and you can actually get that for free on Amazon and iBooks, I believe even now. If you're interested in just getting a sneak preview of it, you might want to do that. It's a great story. It's about a girl named Christy who goes to this hospital to look for her locket. She hangs out in this one room with her friend Austin. They go to just hang out. Austin's really into gaining more knowledge. She realizes that she left her locket in the room and she goes back to find it. When she gets there, something happens and she ends up getting trapped and ends up inside the hospital in the psychiatric unit. They start to think that she is a patient there because she just showed up and she's basically trapped in the psychiatric unit. This book was excellent. It was very action-packed, it was very interesting, and it had some really good symbolism that I personally loved at the end. It talks a lot about how we see ourselves and self-worth and that we truly are special, and it just was a good book. I loved it. Out of all the Ted Dekker books I've read, I think this is the 3rd one I've read, this is my favorite for sure. Definitely recommend it, and I loved it. Then I read House by Ted Dekker and Frank Peretti. This book actually is a movie on Netflix streaming right now. I watched it a couple days ago. The movie and the book are very similar. There are some differences, especially the ending is different. But this book is about a couple who have lost their daughter in an accident. They are on their way to marriage counseling, and this book reminded me so much of a lot of different horror movies. They're on the wrong road. A police officer stops them. They tell them that they're lost. He tells them a shortcut to get to the highway, which of course is a dirt road, and they end up with a flat tire in front of this inn. When they get there, they start to realize that it is a creepy place. There's another couple there that had the same happening to them, and they end up getting trapped in the house. It really reads like a horror story. It reads like a scary movie. It was action-packed from the beginning to the end, but I felt like it did start to get to be too much. I felt like it could have been condensed, and I was getting a little wary of all the stuff that was going on. It also deals with demons, good and evil, and a lot of symbolism in this one, but I don't feel like the symbolism is as in your face with this book as in the other two, so you might not mind it if you're not into this Christian fiction. It is interesting, it was kind of creepy, and I did enjoy it. I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll be back with another review. Thanks.